Hi, everyone. Welcome to our first edition of Software Spotlight, where we take a look into a piece of software and the people behind it. So today we're joined by Alex Jackson from Crezco. Alex, how are you today?
All right, thank you. Thanks very much for having me. I didn't realize this was the first version of this.
It
Under
is,
pressure.
yeah.
Good.
Brilliant. So yeah, how long have you been in the industry?
Uh, well, Crezco was founded back in January 2020. So we're kind of approaching 2 years now. And in fact, open banking as a whole is really not that new anyway. So it was it was January 2018. PSD2 marked the start of that. So yeah, relatively new. We actually think as a business that we've got at least 10 years of innovation and new technology ahead of us. So yeah, pretty exciting.
Brilliant to hear. So what sort of sparked the inception of Crezco? Like a little bit more of a background on it as a concept and as a business?
Well, the B2B space has kind of historically been left behind in terms of payment progression. So our co-founders noticed that when they were running other businesses, paying invoices were a bit of a nightmare. You look at how the B2C space has progressed over the years. We've gone from obviously cash, and then the swipe cards, chip and pin. There's then contactless, Apple Pay, and the sort. Nothing's really changed in the B2B space. So that's kind of where Crezco came about. In terms of also the size of the market, we thought actually the total addressable market is about 50 times the size. So to give you a bit of an idea, the B2B space is worth, it's about 124 trillion in terms of payment volume, as opposed to 2.5 trillion in the B2C space. So a much larger target as well for us to go after.
So Alex, what describes your ideal client at Crezco?
Anyone who wants to take payments at the moment. So to begin with, we are targeting accountants. The reason is that our product actually benefits a number of different stakeholders in the process, not just the person paying and the person being paid. I'll start with them. For the person paying, the key advantage is you're not giving over any potentially compromising information. So if you're making card payments online, you're putting in card details. And of course, if they're compromised, those details can be used to then pay for other things online. Whereas paying with your bank account, each time you have to verify with your bank who it is. And I might bank with the same bank as you, but I don't know your secret passcode, for example. So it's much more secure for the person paying. The person receiving the payment gets the full amount. If you're using someone like Stripe to process your payments, they're run on the card networks, and they're quite expensive. In terms of the speed as well, the money is in your account immediately if you're using Crezco, whereas if you're using Stripe, it's typically 5 to 6 days for payments to settle. And of course, you're then paying fees on that as well. So you're getting paid instantly, you're making more money, and for your customers, it's more secure for them to pay. It's also quicker rather than keying in like long card details. You know what it's like, you check over and go, oh, I've pressed the wrong digit again. With us, it's a couple of clicks, you verify who you are. It'll probably pop up on your phone, scan your face, and you say, yep, that's me. Press pay and it's done. For accountants, a huge advantage is automatic reconciliation. So they're not matching up payments to invoices, anything like that. We do that all automatically for them as well. And for them pushing a solution to their client, it shows that they're proactive, they care about their client. They're offering them a new innovative solution that actually not a lot of people are even aware of at the moment. Open banking's really still very new. And of course, with it being free, huge advantage.
Brilliant. So yeah, you mentioned that you're working with accountancy firms. Are there any particular size that you target, or is it a one size fits all type solution?
No, so we work for businesses of any size. So we've got a whole host. So whether it's kind of regional businesses, national, or kind of one-man bands. I'd say that our kind of sweet spot is probably SMEs, which obviously there's plenty of in the UK. And when we get into larger firms, what you typically find is that they've already got accounts payables and receivables divisions and processes in place anyway. So although we can still add value, it's obviously, they've already got systems really set there, and it's a lot more difficult to get implemented. Whereas with a smaller company, of course, it's easier to get decisions made.
Got it. So yeah, what's your favorite feature of Crezco? Is there any specific aspect that it can provide that you like the most?
I think our Xero integration is really good. So we're integrated with Xero, QuickBooks, a couple of others as well. But particularly, it's the fact that if you sign up to a new software, you've got to learn how to use it. We were actually talking the other day about how Microsoft Office came to be so dominant. The other providers previously actually had far superior products, but what Microsoft did is make it accessible. If you could use Word, you could use Excel, and if you could use Excel, you can use PowerPoint. They all feel the same. And what you don't want to do is, it doesn't matter how great a product is, if people can't use it, it's no good. So we've made it as simple as possible. Now, the zero integration, and in fact, all the integrations with our accounting platforms are the same. What we do is we plug in to the back end. The API then does all the work, and users use their system exactly as they typically would. So with Xero, you send an invoice as you normally do. Nothing changes. The only thing is when the person comes to pay, it pops up on the screen and they've got the option to pay online. So instead of the accountant putting in, say, their bank details, and then the person paying having to go and key in that information, which is potentially fraught with issues, key in the wrong digit, fat finger errors, things like that, that money is gone. Whereas with us, you click a button, verify who you are with your bank, press pay, and that's it done. But the key advantage is there's no difference. There's no new software that you have to learn. So it's really straightforward. And then I guess on the back of that as well, the automatic reconciliation. So a huge headache saved for anyone receiving the payment.
Brilliant. So what separates Crezco from the competition? Are there any specific aspects that are nuanced from other providers?
I mean, I've touched on a few of them already. The speed, money comes into your account instantly. Cost, there is none. Our security is excellent, actually. We've got a proprietary fraud system that we've built in house, which I mean, I can't really go into, but basically the idea is that you know that every time you receive a Crezco link, we have verified that person. So at the point where you sign up with some companies, they need to know your first name, last name, mother's maiden name, what your favorite dinner is. There's all sorts of checks that go on, and it can sometimes take days to get set up. With us, it's a couple of clicks. We need your name and your email, and then we verify who you are and you connect your bank account. Now, your account and my account probably look relatively similar. There's usual spending, subscriptions, whatnot. A fraudster's account is probably set up maybe last week. They've dumped 100 grand into it and nothing's happened since then. So we can easily identify patterns like that. And it means that whenever you receive a Crezco link, and as we grow, people receiving Crezco links are going to know that they're genuine. We're hoping to kind of enable businesses around the world to connect as well. You know, you and I will interact with businesses in the UK and Europe and America, but what about, I don't know, a company in Africa, like in Nigeria? We don't know how to, you know, differentiate between who's fraudulent, who's genuine. So with Crezco, you'd be able to interact with different territories and countries all around the world. And that's kind of the idea behind the business.
Love it. So are there any new features on the way? Anything our viewers can look out for?
Yeah, we've got a couple. So the first one is recurring payments. So that's in the works. We should have that by the end of the year. We will have that by the end of the year. We've done the kind of back end testing and all of that works. So now we just need to make it look nice for the front end for people to use. And then we'll be building out our FX products as well for international invoicing, which means that you'll be able to receive payments from all around the globe.
Brilliant. Exciting times.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So if a viewer were to want to sign up to Crezco and get started using the product, how would they go about doing that?
Well, sign up takes less than 5 minutes. Everyone says that's such a British term, or I just need 5 minutes, but it genuinely is. I think we've had people sign up in about 3.5 minutes. Depending on what accounting software they're using, they can go through the Intuit or the Xero App Store. Sign up that way, then you just connect your bank and that's it done. If not, you can go directly to the Crezco website and you can sign up there in a couple of clicks. You can also email hello@crezco.com if you want to see the product, you want to have a call, anything like that. We've got live chat on the website. Get in touch any way you want.
Brilliant. Well, Alex, it's been absolutely brilliant having a chat. It's fascinating to learn a little bit more about Crezco. Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Thanks very much for having me.